What is up, Winnipeg? It's your boy Nick back again, and I have been away for a long time. Why that I really couldn't tell you. I am just a lazy piece of shit. But this show is coming back, and I'm going to make my absolute best effort to make it part of my routine, make it something that I put out a couple videos every week, and we'll see where it goes. But I thought I'd come on here because now we're into the midst of Bombers season, and this is a primarily Bombers podcast. But I realized what I really want to do is just everything that I'm interested in, and that's usually going to be Winnipeg sports. So I'm even going to take this podcast into Jets season. We're going to talk about Jets trades. We've got I'm going to talk a little bit today about the draft. I'm not like a huge draft nerd. I'm not a huge, I don't know everything that's happening in the NHL because there's just absolutely way too much. But I'm going to talk to it as, um, just one of the fans, talk a little bit about what I know, things that I'm hearing, and then we're going to talk about the Bombers, big trade today, and the upcoming game against the Edmonton Elks on Thursday. So without further ado, I wanted to start with the Bombers because this is my main love in my life is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And if you guys watched my videos before I went on my bit of a hiatus, it was just Bombers. But I do want to talk Winnipeg Jets. I just think it's so much part of a Winnipeg, and I am a huge Jets fan as well. So I'd really be doing myself a disservice by not being able to express all my opinions on the Jets if I really have something that I think needs to be said. So I kind of want that ability to do that as well. So that's why I want to talk Jets and not just only talk Bombers. It also allows me to bring this show all year round. I don't think in January there's going to be a lot of talk about the Bombers or CFL action at all. So I want to keep this thing going year round and just make it part of my daily routine. It is part of my new me to start doing something that's productive aside from just work and whatever other stuff I do in my free time. So I thought I would at least, do something I'm good at and bring this back to the people because I know there were people who really, really enjoyed the podcast. I actually have talked to some of my friends in real life, and they're like, "Man, why aren't you doing the podcast? It was so awesome." So I really appreciate that, and even people who I met through just watching the videos, it was awesome. Really appreciate that, guys, and do appreciate the support. So if you do want me to make more videos, it's not that I won't if you don't hit the like button and subscribe, but it would really help. So hit the like and subscribe, and let's talk about some Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So today, as I was shopping for groceries after work, I get a ding on my phone. One of my friends is telling me the Winnipeg Blue Bombers had traded with the Ottawa Red Blacks, and they traded their first round pick this year in the 2027 draft, in the Canadian draft, and their second round pick in the 2028 draft for Drew Brown. Now, I think that personally, it is a good trade for the Jets. Without going and looking at all the stats, I think that Drew Brown was going to be the future quarterback for the Bombers before he got picked up by Ottawa in free agency. I think that was in 22 or 23. And I think they were really gutted that they weren't able to that they didn't have him anymore. And I just think it's a really good insurance policy because he also does have tons of experience. Well, not tons, but he played a full season with Ottawa as a starter. He started 3 games with the Bombers when Collaros was hurt, and he has a winning record. I think he went 2-1 with the Bombers when he was in replacing Collaros. So with Collaros being, what is he, 40? I think it's an amazing move. I think that even once Collaros is done, we have a good battle, right? Maybe Claros retires after this year. Hard to say. He might come back, but we at least now we have Drew Brown next year. We have Elgersma, and then we have what the hell is his name? Not Scary Terry. What you know what I'm talking about? The guy from the UFL. I will research that. I know who he is. I just can't think of his name. Sorry, boys, not very professional of me. But yeah, so that's kind of the way I see it. And honestly, I think the Bombers, just by I guess being the Bombers, and the way that they run things and the way that they attack free agency, I don't think that they need to, build Canadian depth through the draft as much as other teams do. They're already starting more than enough Canadians. I think it's great that they're going out using those picks and getting quarterbacks, because that's one thing that we think we've always had difficulty with is developing quarterbacks. And it's just nice that even if Elgersma's not ready next year and say Claros is done, we have that extra little bit of we have the extra bit of time for him, right? Like, we don't necessarily need to start Elgersma next year, and we give him the chance to progress and really learn the offense and just get accustomed to the CFL. I think that really, really helps us, and it just gives us more options going forward. And it's not just I don't think it's just an insurance policy. Uh, some people might think of it as just, oh, we have a backup, and just in case Claros gets injured. Yes, that's true, because I think if Claros did get injured, I do think we'd be in a lot of trouble, because who are we going to start? We have two backups who have never started a game, and I know Drew Brown in 2024, he threw for almost 4,000 yards. I don't think he even started every game, so I have a lot more confidence in a Drew Brown than I would with Elgersma, or I can't think of his name, but yeah. So I think it's a great move. The first round pick, I'm not going to miss it at all. The second round pick in 2 years, we'll deal with that when it comes. But yeah, I think it's an amazing move. And hopefully he's available right away. Oh, I just got an alert that Bowen Byram and Jordan Greenway got traded for the fourth pick. Wow, that's a big trade. It's a lot of big trades. So yeah, I think that great trade. Hopefully he's available sooner than later, and he's able to pick up the Bombers' offense. And I think I think that's a good move in general. I don't have any problems with it at all. I think he's a good target to get. He's a guy that they know, and they know is going to be able to pick up the offense again, and knows how to play in the CFL. So absolutely, good job, Kyle Walters. Another good move. As for the game on on Thursday, I just think it's gonna be a tough game. I think that the Bombers' offense, I think that we have probably a better offense than Edmonton does, but it's just gonna come down to if the defense can stop anybody. I was talking to a lot of people about they're really down on the Bombers' defense, but I think that it might be a little bit overblown. It could be a mixture of things. Like, we saw what happened to BC. Hamilton destroyed BC's defense as well. Um, and I was listening to one of O'Shea's what's called media scrums, and he kind of had a good point. Like, and um, they were mentioning how the defenses are usually ahead of the offenses, and now this year it seems like the offenses are ahead of the defenses, and it kind of makes sense. And I think it was something along the lines of that the offense knows the play and the defense is sort of reacting to it, right? Like, they have their call and they have to make a call and guess. But if one person isn't doing the right assignment and wins, or isn't on the same page, you don't know the offense has their playbook, and they make their play. They do their play. They know the route they're supposed to run. They know if it's a run or a pass. They know where they're supposed to block. They know all these things, and especially when you're working with all new pieces, a lot of new pieces and all that, for everyone to read and be quick and be able to play fast, it's really tough, and I do understand. So I'm willing to give it a few more games before I make an absolute judgment. I mean, if I don't see them do a lot, make an improvement this game, I'm going to come on next week and I'm going to be a little bit more rattled about it. But I just think that it's a second game of the season. I don't think we can really make absolute judgments, um, too quickly at all. I'd rather wait. And I know Hamilton's a great team. Bo Levi Mitchell's he's a veteran quarterback. He's seen everything. They Kenny Lawler, like they have a good team. So it's all veterans. I just think that it was kind of a bad situation for us. And I think that we just need a few more weeks, and we could be there. I don't, if we have enough talent or whatnot, that's a totally different conversation. But for now, I think that we should see how it plays out. And but that being said, I do think let's go back here. We need a lot more pressure. Like we in the first game, we saw Serezna had 3 sacks. I think Willie had a sack and a knockdown, if I'm remembering correctly. But last game, I don't think we got even within 10 yards of Bill Levi Mitchell. So, um, and that reminded me a lot of last year. There was just no pressure. Bo could just stand the back there, pick us apart, wait until often or the receiver got open, like no pressure. And you'd think like with all that noise and Bomber fans going crazy, and you've got the home field advantage and all this, you'd think you would be a little bit more amped up to beat the guy across from you. So I'm really hoping on Thursday we don't get a rerun of that, because that would be pretty depressing. And I will be there, so up. And as you can see with my name, right here, that's where I'll be. So hopefully I see you guys there. I will start talking a little bit about the draft and what I think about sort of the trade rumors. So I don't really want to go into like crazy detail with the Jets, but I do have a little bit of a statement to make about the trade, or a potential trade with Connor Hellebuyck. I do think, like honestly, I love Connor Hellebuyck. I think he's the best goalie we've ever had. He's probably the best player we've ever had, to be honest. Like if you think about the accolades and what he's sort of done for the Jets, I think you have to. There's um, a really good argument to be made that he is the best player we've ever had. Um, and that's following having Andre Pavlik and a bunch of other mediocre goalies. So I do really appreciate what he's done, but I do think that um, it's time to move on. And I just think that if anybody here thinks the Jets could just next year, all we need is a second line center and we're going to win the cup, I think you're lying to yourself. And you're really risking the whole future of this team. And if that's what Chevy wants to do, I just think that it's a huge mistake, and it's such a small chance of it actually working that it really. I don't think it's worth the risk. I just think there's such a small percent chance that for some reason, maybe I don't know, uh, like do we go into free agency and get some more goal scoring, or like how does this happen? I don't understand how we're going to get a second line center, without making a trade somewhere and trading away all of our prospects. And if okay, that's what he really wants, Connor Hellebuyck, he wants to win. We go and trade away a bunch of prospects. We trade away Lambert. We trade away Perfetti, or we can't trade away Perfetti because we're trying to win right now, right? So we trade away Lambert. We trade away not McGroarty, Barlow. We trade away uh, um, Jagger. We trade away like our first pick. Okay, you do that. Now what? Now you're set back like 5 years, and for one chance with guys who are my age in their 30s. I can tell you for sure these guys are maybe going to be another couple of years. Shifley, Hellebuck, Morrissey. Connor's probably got the most amount of tread, but still he's a speed player. I don't know if he is this translates once he loses a step. So I just don't think this Jets team. I think we might have gone as far as we could make it. I think going to like a Western Conference final, and then last year making it past the first round, it was all commendable, man. Like I just think that winning the President's Trophy last year, I think that is what this team was capable of. with being Winnipeg and not being able to go out and just pick up big piece after big piece in free agency and convincing free agents to come here. It really makes us one dimensional in the way that we have to build the team, and you have to build it so that other people will come, right? Like at the moment, we're basically saying, okay, we have to build this team that is good enough that people. It's like Buffalo. What Buffalo did. They built a team that's good that now they're adding those pieces, and we did that before, right? Like we added pieces of the trade deadline, and we it's not that we've never added free agent players. We have. It's just a matter of guys who want to win will want to come here. I just think that like having a 1 year shot and you just say, here, our best players are Shifley, Connor, and Morrissey, and then Hellebuyck. I just don't know if that's enough scoring, because after that we've got Perfetti, and unless you add a really great second line center, and it's going to cost us basically all of our draft picks, it's just not going to happen, and or a bunch of prospects, and it just sets us back so many years. I just really hope they don't make a mistake, or even I think a mistake would just be holding on to Hellebuyck. I just think that he's not happy to begin with, and you're just using more years of him, and now he's going to get worse and worse and worse, or his values going to diminish. I just think it's a huge mistake. And a quick piece about the draft. Yeah, I would be happy if we just stuck at 8. I do want us to pick up another first round, like top 10 pick, and trade Hellebuck and get a top 10 pick, and just really kickstart this rebuild or retool, because I think that Connor could be part of this retool. Perfetti, a lot of these young kids, Lambert, Barlow, Jagger, like there's so many guys, and then we got some defensemen that we brought in too. There are a lot of good pieces that could still go into this next part of the team, and could translate. I mean, even Shifley, he doesn't play like a a speed game. I think he could play another 3, 4, 5 years. So he might be, maybe he's the captain going for, or well, I guess Lowry is, but maybe he's your guy who just he moves down from the first line down to second line center, and we build and we get a young guy who's now your first line center, and that's how we win. I don't think it's going out, uh, trading away all our picks and getting a guy for a couple of years, and then he says, "Oh, I'm leaving," after he becomes a free agent. I just don't think that's a good idea. I'd rather build, develop, and just keep those key pieces. And I think we can find a goalie. We've have a couple guys in the pipeline, and I don't even know if we need all-star goalie right now, anyways, because I don't think we're winning the cup next year. The only reason to have an all-star goalie is if you're winning the cup, like a Vezina goalie, which we're not going to do, unfortunately. I hate to break it to you guys, but I don't think the Jets are winning the cup next year. If they do, clip this, and I'm wrong. But yeah, in the draft, I really hope the Jets. I think it would be probably smart to go defense, but I would really love to get a guy like a Vigo Bjork. I've watched a lot of tape from him. He's just a he's just a talented offensive player. He's undersized, but I really like the undersized players. I love a Cole Caulfield. Any a guy who's really nice with the puck and plays bigger than he is, rather than a big guy who plays smaller than he is. I'd much rather have a guy who's got more heart and is not afraid to battle in the corners, rather than a guy who's big and doesn't play as big as he is. But either way, drafts on Friday, Bomber game on Thursday. This is going to be amazing. Also, I think Team Canada in the World Cup's playing on Thursday. So go Canada, go Jets, go Bombers, go. Hopefully everything goes well and goes to plan. But either way, I'll be back. I'll probably make another one after the Bomber game, maybe Friday. If I'm not, well, I'll be watching I don't know. I'll make one either Thursday or Friday, or sorry, Thursday or Friday. No, sorry, not Thursday. I'll make one on Friday or Saturday, probably. Saturday for sure, because I'm not working Saturday. But either way, boys, go Bombers, go Jets, and peace out. And I'll see you down at the Rum Hut.